friends.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to another episode of A Terrible Man.
Why do men?
Why do men?
Why the fuck do men?
Like, we're already at episode 5, folks. Come on now. Been doing this for a month already. We're going to be doing it for I don't even know how long because we got an untold amount of stories. Also, Patronuses, and I'll have to do this on the other episodes as well. If you guys see my arm moving around and you see this, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, turn it a little bit.
Oh, God.
There you go.
It's from archery. I'm not being abused. I promise. I'm learning how to kill things with bows. It's fun.
Wait 3 times if you need help.
Not because of him, though. Yeah, I didn't wear my arm guard, and I now have a nice knot there. So,
it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is fun, though. I went for like a Legolas thing yesterday, and I was like whipping bows out.
I got her this bow like, what was it, 5 years ago, 10 years
2
ago?
or 3. God, no. See, this is what happens, ladies. When a man says he's 6 inches, they tend to over-exaggerate. It was like 3 years ago tops. Okay.
Was it when we first moved in?
Yeah, it was like right when we first moved in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
about 3 years ago, I bought her this really nice recurve bow.
It's a Perte bow. I finally broke it out yesterday.
Very pretty. It's nice.
As Patty has a bow, and she's been, can I do some archery? Like, shit, yeah, girl, go for it. So I finally broke that thing out yesterday. I had to string it, and piece of advice, folks, don't let your recurve bows sit for 3 years because they dry out.
Yeah.
And they crack.
Yeah.
And you gotta, like, work them out. But I think we got it worked out, so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it'll be all right from here on out, hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right.
Wonder if anybody's ever broken a bow.
I'm sure they have.
Snap. Whack.
All right. This week we're going to go back to the motherland to look at a dictator who on the cover had a magnetic smile and by many is still seen as a liberator. But in reality, Idi Amin is thought to have killed between 300,000 and 500,000 Ugandans during his rule between 1971 and 1979.
Damn. A lot of people.
There's a connection here, folks, between countries in Africa and other continents that are backed by the British and the U.S. They get these dictators, country goes to shit, U.S. comes in and cleans up all the resources. There's a connection, folks. Born Idi Amin Dada Omi, it is believed he was born sometime between 1925 and 1928, though it is hard to know for sure as the British government did not keep records of the births of native Ugandans. Like, okay. His mother, Ashi Chumaru Ati, was from the Lugbara people, and his father, Amin Dada Nyabari Tamarisu, of the Kakwa people. Y'all. I'm not African.
Americans are horrible at indigenous names.
I have African ancestors, but I grew up in Western North Carolina here, folks.
Ooh.
You hear that?
By God.
That right there is natural.
Son.
So I really am trying my best. It's funny because Naya kind of sounds like Nadia.
Yeah.
Or Maya. I don't know. Some of the words are easy, but there's just a lot of... I just got to think about it for a second.
Yeah.
It is said both of these nations fall under the umbrella of Nubian, and Amin would be loyal to this community his whole life. The older Amin was forced into service for the crown.
Sorry, what was his name again?
Idi, and then Amin. The older Amin was forced into service for the crown by his uncle in 1910, and it said that he was 6. So his dad was conscripted into the king's service at 6 to be a burglar.
That did look scary.
He was He's called the Butcher of Uganda and Black Hitler.
Holy shit.
That's Black Hitler right there.
What the fuck?
One of my coworkers called this customer of ours Black Ken yesterday, and I was a little, you what? I knew exactly who the fuck she was talking about. That's the funny part right there. Yeah. And then I saw Black Hitler, and I was like, I ain't gonna say shit about you calling him Black Ken anymore. Wow.
There's a picture of him with a symbol on his shoulder. Looks like the rebel symbol from Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's definitely not.
So back to his dad. He was forced into service by his uncle in 1910, joined the police force in 1913, again was forced into service for the crown in 1914. In 1921, he was honorably discharged and given a plot of land. That same year, he joined the police force in the Nasambi police barracks, where oral tradition has it that Amin would be born. His mother, on the other hand, was a healer, herbalist, and a midwife who joined the Allah Water movement roughly a decade before Amin was born. It is said this group, which is also known as Yakani, quote, was an anti-colonial alternative medicine congregation centered on a water of yakan that was infused with a psychedelic daffodil plant, locally known as camijo, described as the LSD of Central Africa.
Nice.
The movement was repressed by British colonial authorities who judged it as rebellion. Despite being largely described as a cult, Amin's family claims that A.T. was a priestess in the Yakani order, which they explained as a secret African society of which Idi Amin was also a member that used sacred water and other mystical powers for warfare, end quote.
So he gave him LSD, basically.
Wakanda forever.
That's cool.
It's literally what I thought of, was like they're right. Fucking doing the Wakanda shit out there.
I want to know what like, plant that is.
They took the plant and they drank the plant. They made a water out of the plant, drank the plant, and it gave them like magical powers, and so they could go fight.
That's awesome.
It's literally the Wakanda,
right?
Is Uganda.
Yeah.
Ooh, hey, Wakanda, Uganda. All right then.
I want to know what flower that is now.
Look up the Kamijo. It's Kamiojo. Yeah, Kamiojo.
Kamiojo.
No, Kami. Yes, Ojo.
Kamiojo. I'm getting like a singer. Kamiojo.
That is so funny.
It's a singer named Kamiojo. Flower. Not a singer. Oh, okay. Yeah, pink flower. Let's go into AI mode. It's thinking.
Oh, hold on. I just Googled that. LSD of Central Africa. And one of the results that I saw, and I clicked off of it.
Okay, I don't think I want to try it now.
I kind of do, because where did that article go?
It says hallucinations, elation, and frenzy. Go into a frenzy. Water of Yakan.
But there was an article I saw, and now it disappeared. I can't find it now, but it said how flower in Africa is giving hope to drug addicts.
Okay.
So it might be
curing some drug addicts and some.
It might be dangerous in a sense, but then it might be, an exit drug,
Right.
which some things are like that, like LSD.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
LSD's been known to like take away like addictions
I mean, it
by
says that
microdosing.
it says what you said about it on there, but people have also had that experience with mushrooms.
Yeah,
You know, if you're not in the right
probably. Yeah.
headspace, you're going to have a bad trip regardless.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, if you're not in the right set mood and setting, then yeah, I can
mhm.
see how you could go to into a frenzy. Like,
So
oh God, what's happening?
when he was well, like, okay, so my mom, side quest, my mom told me the story about when she got high this one time with just on pot. She did do other drugs, but we're not getting into that on this episode. But she was getting high with her friend they called no acetol, and he got so paranoid he was hiding in the bushes. And she came outside and he was like, Teresa, Teresa, there's somebody out here. She was like, I know, it's me. So like some people, yeah, like even weed can send some people freaking out.
So a bunch of them popped up with it.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Datura.
Mm-hmm.
The other were ones, two types of Canzanias, a Calotropis gigantea. Uh,
You know what?
there's like six of them right here that are related to that Yakan movement.
You know what? If you were ever interested in doing a show on Patreon, you could do like an Ian's Pharmacopoeia
Yeah,
type show where you like
it's all about
research.
drugs.
I mean, don't do them because we have a child and you have a job.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we get a vacation, maybe. All right. So when he was a young boy, Amin's parents separated and he and his mother moved to live with her family. He was enrolled in a Muslim school but did not stay for long and would only ever technically get a fourth grade education. However, Amin would grow to an imposing 6 foot 4 inches.
I lost his name again. Can you? It's IMI, right?
IDI.
IDI.
AMIN.
IDI. And then
Idi Amin.
okay.
Although it might be Idi Amin. I don't know. I'm calling him Idi because he's kind of an idiot. So he grew to 6 foot 4 inches, had very little formal education, and could speak the local Kiswahili language, making him a prime candidate for the British military to mold into a soldier.
Scary, man.
There is a long history of this region, but the British came into the picture in 1869 when Samuel Baker was tapped to lead an expedition to suppress the slave trade and open the way for commerce by like the king of Egypt or some shit. Then explorers who were mapping the Nile River made their way to Uganda, followed shortly by missionaries. This led to a series of battles and massacres between Muslims and Christians in the region, then other religious factions over time. This would lead Britain to annexing the area into the Uganda protectorate. I can't even fucking say English words, folks. In 1894. They would keep control of the region until 1962 when Uganda finally gained some independence. It would be during this time of British rule that Amin would work to gain the qualifications that would make him an asset, and in 1946 he was enlisted into the King's Army as an assistant cook, and he called them his African Rifles. The King's African Rifles was what the military was called.
Okay.
Which is like, we're not equipment.
Right.
Mm.
Oh, it's like the English. They used like Scottish bagpipes for their military, like to play music for their military.
Right. Amin stood out from other soldiers for his athleticism. He was a great swimmer, rugby player, and boxer, In 1951, he actually won the Ugandan lightweight boxing championship and held that title for 9 years.
I'm sure he did. It's a big man.
You imagine? He is 6'4", so like Albert Campos.
Like landing some sledgehammers. Wow.
Ridiculous. What's funny though is that one of the sources I said, somebody said that like he was real strong and a real good soldier, but above his neck it was filled with cement, and you had to really explain shit to him for him to get it.
I'm sure.
So he was dumb.
Right.
In 1949, Amin was promoted from private to corporal, the first step in his rise to power. And that rise in part came for his support for the British control of the region. He fought against Mau Mau freedom fighters in Kenya and rebel fighters in Somalia. By 1957, he was promoted to sergeant major and controlled his own platoon. In 1959, Amin was promoted to Effendi, which is the highest rank a native Ugandan could achieve at the time. But it would not be long before the viciousness of Amin's tactics came to light. In 1962, it was reported that Amin took a simple assignment to flush out cattle stealers to an extreme and committed horrible acts of violence. The bodies were exhumed by authorities in Nairobi and were found to have been severely beaten and tortured, with some of them showing signs they had been buried alive.
Jeez.
3 ways I prefer not to die: being buried alive, drowning, fire. Because all 3, I imagine I wouldn't be able to breathe.
Right.
I'm somebody who suffers with not being able to breathe on a regular basis because she has sleep apnea. I'm good. You see, just take a really deep breath. All right. But here's the thing. Yet again, we see a man showing the world who he is, and instead of him receiving the proper consequences for his actions, i.e., a court-martial, discharge, or just some kind of punishment, he was given a promotion. Since Amin was one of only 2 high-ranking native Ugandans within the military, the government decided not to prosecute. Instead, the future Prime Minister of Uganda, Milton Obote, sent him to the UK for training. This began a lucrative relationship for Obote and Amin. The 2 worked together on various smuggling operations and towards expanding the Ugandan army. King Matisa II of Buganda was not happy about Obote's actions and requested a formal inquiry into the Prime Minister. In response, Obote convened his own commission, which, surprise, surprise, found he'd done nothing wrong. And in 1963, Obote promoted Amin to major and then colonel in 1964. In 1966, the Ugandan parliament charged Amin with misappropriating $350,000 worth of gold and ivory from the guerrillas in the Congo he was supposed to sell weapons to. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm going to take this money, do whatever I want with it, and I'm not going to give you the weapons to fight the war.
Right.
So what does Amin do? He has the 5 ministers who pressed the charges arrested. What does Obote do? He suspends the Constitution and appoints himself president. Within days, Amin was put in charge of the entire military and police force of Uganda. 2 months after Obote's coup, he solidified his power by attacking the palace of Matisa II, with whom he shared power. Matisa fled the country, and Obote was left as the sole ruler, with Amin, his right-hand man, fully controlling the military force of the country. One man controlling the military and the police.
Sounds like a dictatorship.
Like somebody's trying to do now, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't control the police. Only the military. And the police are being told.
Sometimes not even that.
Sometimes.
Because the military here still has morals.
Some of them, not a lot.
Some of them.
Some of them have morals, but unfortunately, maybe someday over on the history podcast, we'll get into the school to military to cop pipeline
Sure.
to 40% of domestic violence.
I wonder if there's ever been any place in history, which this would be good for the history show, where they have disobeyed a unlawful order.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Like, and I know of one of them because like the nuclear guys, like there was one in Russia and specifically that.
Oh, the guy with the key that said,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not hitting that button."
Yeah.
They said hit the button. He said no.
Yeah, which
I don't
is
think I'm going to.
I want to say that's what Red October was about.
And then later they were
movie.
like, "Oh, good thing you didn't hit that button. It was a glitch."
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, what?
Which that's one instance of it, but I'm talking more about like
A whole military force going against
saying,
the government.
Hey, attack your own people, and they're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? No.
Yep, right. I don't know. I'll look into it.
Be interesting to do one on that.
On January 25th, 1971, Atobi lost the control he thought he had of his country when Amin threw a coup while he was coming home from Singapore. And he would not return to Uganda until Amin had been overthrown. And then he would come back and become the president again. At first, people were thrilled about Amin taking over. People danced in the streets as Amin toured around, shaking hands, taking pictures, and dancing with the locals. He probably kissed some babies too. It is said that his love of women helped endear him to the people. He had multiple wives of different Ugandan ethnic groups.
I'm sure.
And was said to have no less than 30 mistresses across the country.
That makes sense because
Who's got time?
Every time he's in one of these pictures, I see him right beside a kid and a woman.
Who's got that kind of time?
Right.
That's what I don't get about people who has affairs. I'm tired.
Well, he probably didn't have the time, but he had the money.
All right, he can just fly them in and out. He ain't got to go nowhere.
Right.
But he really locked in his popularity when he allowed the body of King Mutesa to be returned to Uganda for burial. He also abolished Atobi's secret police and granted amnesty to political prisoners. But all was not what it seemed for this benevolent ruler. In the shadows, Amin had created his own secret forces to go after those he believed were loyal to Obote. It is believed he killed 5,000 to 6,000 soldiers across, Acholi, Langi, and other nations, slaughtering them in their barracks.
Damn.
It quickly became apparent that Amin had a short temper and was not at all a smooth politician. This became glaringly apparent in 1972 when he asked Israel for money and weapons to fight against Tanzania. Israel said no, so Amin turned to Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, who I don't actually know anything about, but I know that name.
I do too.
I know the name Muammar Gaddafi. Amin then expelled 500 Israelis and 50,000 South Asians who had British citizenship from Uganda. This caused a huge downturn in the economy as Israelis had begun several large building projects, and the Asian population had many successful business owners. It is said that the Asian population accounted for 90% of the country's tax revenue.
Wow.
And he expelled all of them from the country.
There goes the Silk Road.
Like, dude, which this is Africa, not Asia, but yeah. More like the Ivory Road.
Right.
While this tainted Amin's international image, he did not care and just kept on doing his crazy shit. We see Amin take the same path many cult leaders do. Over time, he became paranoid. Quote, he routinely changed his personnel, altered travel schedules and modes of transportation, and slept in different places whenever he could, end quote. To ensure loyalty from his troops, Amin gave them expensive gifts, promotions, and even businesses previously owned by the Asian population he had expelled. But his violence was getting increasingly more horrific as time went on. Thousands, tens of thousands of Ugandans were murdered for various reasons, be they ethnic, political, or financial. Rumors spread that he would keep human heads in his fridge, and he is known to have ordered 4,000 disabled people be thrown into the Nile River to be attacked by crocodiles.
Jesus.
So that guy, that when I went, oh, skirt,
That's fucked up.
skirt, he did what now? I'm disabled. I don't want to be eaten by a crocodile.
Right.
Amin has also admitted on several occasions to cannibalism. In 1976, he said, quote, I have eaten human meat. It is very salty, even more salty than leopard meat, end quote.
All right, then.
And I think, so some of the sources I looked at, this is kind of a cultural thing for some of the, I don't like calling them tribes, the nations. I guess it's kind of like how indigenous people are with like a deer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if that's actually true or not. We should ask indigenous people that next time we go to Cherokee. But I've always heard that like they'll eat the heart of a deer or take a bite out of it or something like that to pay respect to it.
Right.
In this culture, it's more like they would consume part of the person they killed to keep their spirit from haunting them.
Yeah.
Or to give them their power, even sometimes.
Yeah.
If they believed in more like spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love it, but also like I'm not disgusted by it either. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if I'm
It
hungry
was
enough,
part of his culture.
that and like if I'm hungry enough, I will shave a chunk of my own leg off. Okay?
Yeah, you always said you would.
I'm fine with it. I don't care. On par with some of the most infamous cult leaders, people believe that Amin may have been suffering from untreated syphilis. Could possibly have that disease. This particular disease is known to cause brain damage if left untreated. And Amin was charged for failing to treat an STD early in his military career.
I don't know. Does it make your hands all bruised?
I don't know, but it'll make you fucking crazy. Like
That
they
we know
think
he is.
they think Jim Jones had untreated syphilis,
Right.
but and we covered that one. But also like
dogs and the cats and they're eating them.
So if he did have untreated syphilis, add into that his spiritual practices and like cultural elements. It's fucking wild, bro. Fucking wild in his head.
Right.
But no matter what he did, Amin was not being held accountable for his actions. In 1975, he was elected the chairman of the Organization of African Unity, and in 1977, African countries blocked a UN resolution that would hold him accountable for human rights violations. In June of 1979, Amin showed the world just how anti-Israeli he was when he allowed Palestinian militants to land a hijacked plane at the Entebbe airport in Uganda. The Israelis sent in a team of commandos to rescue the hostages, who were successful in retrieving the hostages, with only 4 dying and only one of the soldiers being killed. Angered by this embarrassing event, trigger warning, abuse of an elder? I don't know. It's just fucked up shit. Angered by this embarrassing event, Amin ordered one of the hostages, a 74-year-old woman who had been taken to the hospital, executed. Quote, Dora Bloch was dragged from her hospital bed screaming, shot to death, and dumped into the trunk of a government car. The body of a white woman was later found on a sugar plantation 19 miles away, but the body was too burnt and disfigured to identify. End quote.
Damn.
So as you can imagine, that did nothing to help his image. You slaughtering a 74-year-old woman because you pissed off because, I mean, fuck Israel, but like, come on, dude.
Right.
This did nothing to help his image, which was damaged even further when he ordered the killing of an archbishop and the interior minister. Not sure. No, just kidding. I couldn't help it.
Unscannables.
It said the interior minister, and I was like, the minister of the interior? The
What is that?
What?
I don't know what that is.
What do I do? The interior of what? What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to fix stuff, man.
Rondo
You're gonna
has
fix
electrolytes.
the plant, and you're gonna fix the economy, and you're gonna fix all of this. You guys go watch Idiocracy. It's on Netflix. You're gonna be like, oh, we're living it. Okay.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Hell, my balls. After Britain cut ties with Uganda over the airport event, Amin dubbed himself Conqueror of the British Empire, which tied in nicely with the rest of his self given title. Quote, His Excellency President for Life Field Marshal Al Haji Dr. Idi Amin, VC, DOS, MC, CBE, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the sea, and conqueror of the British Empire in Africa in general and Uganda in particular. End quote. BR 549. Y'all ever watch Yeehaw? Go watch it. Good old show. But no matter what he called himself, he couldn't keep the economy from tanking as the price of coffee, Uganda's main export, dropped in the 70s. Then in 1978, the U.S. stopped trading with Uganda, taking 1/3 of the coffee exports with them. There was also an exodus of Ugandans from the country, with many of them leaving for other African Sorry, my brain glitched.
Right.
With many of them leaving for other African countries or even going as far as the UK. Even as troops were defecting and fleeing to Tanzania. In a last ditch attempt to keep power, Amin decided to invade Tanzania.
All right.
All right there, Putin. You like Putin. But again, that did not go the way he was hoping it would, and not only did Tanzanian forces defeat the Ugandan forces, they actually invaded Uganda and on April 11th, 1979, captured the capital of Kampala. Amin at first fled to Uganda fled Uganda for Libya with 4 of his wives and more than 30 of his children.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, let it sink in. I'm gonna take a second. Let him hear that I said 30 children.
That's a lot of kids.
That's too many kids. That's too many kids. No, I at one point wanted 12 in my life.
It's like a whole school.
I was gonna adopt one from each continent and then give birth to the rest of them, but 30? Yeah, that's more than Patty's class.
Yep.
They eventually moved to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where they lived until 1989. Oh, excuse me. Burp coming. Shoo. From there, he used a fake passport to fly to Kinshasa in the Congo. He lived his life there until he died on August 16th, 2003, from organ failure, which is crazy that he lived until 2003. He's only been dead for 22 years.
Right.
In 2006, he would be portrayed by Forrest Whitaker in The Last King of Scotland, as Amin claimed to be Scotland's uncrowned king.
Right.
Yeah, he did. And that's what I said at the beginning. I'm seeing a theme of these stories of men in foreign countries where they seem to be colonially backed.
Right.
Whether it's Britain, Belgium, or the US, colonial powers have backed wars in these countries for years. The more they stay at war and not work on bettering their country and their lives, the easier it is for those in power to swoop in and take the resources from the land. Home to Victoria Lake, the world's second largest freshwater lake, Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa for its many resources, including climate, fertile land, and oil. I don't want to say it out loud. Or 710, as that one bitch thought it was in her car that one time.
Right.
Uganda is currently an independent country ran by a dictator, and would you like to guess who their biggest financial supporter is?
The U.S.
You're right. That's us.
Yeah.
So I don't really see things getting much better there. as long as we have our dirty little hands in their business.
I'm sure.
So, Bill, what do you think of Idi Amin, the Ugandan butcher, Black Hitler?
Well, I'd like to read this speech or, well, quote that he gave. It
Yeah.
said, "Here is freedom of speech, but I cannot guarantee freedom after speech." Adi Amiri.
All right.
Uh,
That
I mean,
sounds
that right there, it's like
familiar.
it's like Trump.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar.
He's like, you got freedom of speech, but I can't guarantee you that I'm not going to come and jail you up or send you to a different country or something like that.
Because
It's
you hurt
fucking
my
bullshit.
feelings. Because you hurt my feelings. I'm a big fucking baby bitch.
Yeah.
Big baby bitch. That's
that,
what he is.
and that's what happens when you have a dictator, people. Like, yeah, you no longer have the Constitution or rights.
I mean, and I don't really like how close they're getting to us
Right.
right now. They're in Charlotte. This is another one of those instances where I'm like, I'm glad certain relatives aren't alive anymore because they lived in that area and I wouldn't want them to have to like deal with that. You know?
Right.
Like my brother worked at the fucking airport. I can't imagine how many brown other like Hispanic people work at a fucking airport.
Yeah.
Luggage people, cleaning people, like all the people doing all
food
the
trucks.
things in an airport.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that my brother isn't around to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or isn't around to have to live in that city and be driving down the road and was to say that was to say that he wouldn't have got killed by ICE trying to protect one of his friends.
Yeah. This is true.
Like y'all need to like hear what I'm saying here. I am thankful that my big brother is dead because ICE is in his city.
Yeah.
The city that he lived in and called home. I'm not happy my brother's dead. I'm still depressed about it. But I'm thankful he ain't got to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn. Anyways, all right. Idi Amin, motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I look like Walter. Got Walter's mouth. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you joining us for another shitty episode, and we will see you guys next week.
See you guys. Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.